All right, you wrote the offer, you got the house. Woo-hoo! Here we go. All right, the next step in getting the house is you're going to do an inspection. Okay, you're going to get a home inspection. So what are the shortcuts? What are the ways in which you might get ripped off by yourself, by your mind, not someone else ripping you off? This is all stuff people do to themselves. You might rip yourself off during the inspection phase. So first of all, there's framing, which is a version of or a subset of anchoring. We'll talk about that. There's and then there's prospect theory, and there's availability. Okay, so framing. Okay, well, let's just look at the inspection report for a second. Okay, the inspection report is going to be like 150 things. It's going to be a detailed 30-page report with 150 deficiencies of the house. Okay, every house is going to get them. Every house is going to get 150 things wrong with it. Okay, now what does that mean to you? Well, prospect theory would indicate you now are afraid of losing your money, right? Losing your investment, it's going to be a problem. You begin to freak out. And if it looks to you like you might lose your money, you're going to freak out. You're going to actually start to act inconsistent with the actual threat, with the actual statistical probability of loss. You're going to see a 30-page report with 150 things on it, and prospect theory is going to take over, and it's going to start looking like you are going to lose your whole investment, and now you're out of the deal. When, in fact, in reality, every house has that list, some version of that list. It's not a big fear of loss, right? A rational examination of what's actually wrong with it would indicate that most of those are you could remedy, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal if you were operating rationally with it. So watch for prospect theory, okay? You may wind up in the throes of the fear of loss, right? The other side of it is equally true, like you love the house and you're willing to ignore things that are not easily remedied, right? And you're afraid of losing the house. Either way, not a rational approach won't produce optimal results, all right? Now, what is a way is you take anchoring and you start to use it in your favor. You frame, and anchoring is there's a subset of anchoring called framing, which is also in the book, the chapter on the heuristic, the shortcut, framing. But let's look. You're creating an anchor in the mind of the seller. When you ask for repairs being made, there's a list of 150 things. You're only going to ask for 10 of them, but you only really want 5 of them. So you're going to reference the 150. So you create this big old anchor for them, 150 things. And I'm only asking for 10. Now they see those 10. They think, oh, there's a lot wrong. I could only give them 10. Now they're going to do half of that because they're negotiating. That's their negotiating. They're going to give you 5. That's okay. You only wanted 2. So you started with 150. You told them 10. They gave you 5. That's 3 more than you were going to get. That's framing. And you can absolutely frame the inspection report in that way every time. All right? Very, very easy, very simple. And you should use the heuristics to your advantage. But you can only do that when you know they exist and you know they're at play. All right, the third one was availability, and we've talked about it before, and I'm going to talk about it again because it's a really big deal for people because people love HGTV, and in their mind is available that they can fix anything, anytime. They can knock down that wall and open up the kitchen, and they can redo the floors and do all. No, you know what? Maybe, but maybe not, okay? A house is a money pit. Every house is a money pit. I know it's not a real great marketing tool for me as a realtor to tell you a house is a money pit, but a house is a money pit. It has an unlimited capacity to use every spare dollar you will ever have. It's never going to stop, okay? So even a really good house, even a house in great quality, great condition is going to be a money pit. You start talking about before you even move in, I got to knock down this, do this, okay. Unless you're really handy with a hammer, that's going to cost you more than you think. So you got to watch out for what's available in your mind is how simple and easy creating a vaulted ceiling in a loft is really in a, one-bedroom cabin. So you got to watch for that kind of thing, okay? It's not as easy as it looks on TV. Availability can mess you up during the inspection phase. You begin to think things are easier to repair than they are. All right, so those are the 3 heuristics that really do sort of mess people up in the inspection phase. All right, moving on.